Good afternoon. Thank you all so much for coming out. Me and Mayor Patty Woodby from Carter County thought it'd be a good idea to come out here and talk to you. We was afforded the way to get to Texas border, Eagle Pass, Shelby Park, to really get our boots on the ground and witness firsthand the national crisis and security breach that we're seeing across the country, and what we witnessed. Not only talking to local ranchers, individuals that live in those communities and cities, but the first day we met with Kenny County Sheriff Brad Coe, who talked about his community and how quiet it was. He's been sheriff for 7 years. And then he started talking about how his pursuits have went up 300%. We sat in a courtroom that used to be active 3 days a month. Now it's full 4 weeks out of a month, which is clogging up the judicial system, and it's coming with robberies, rapes, shootings, like I say, pursuits. Kenny County Sheriff's just describing his citizens that don't feel safe. They can't let their kids walk around at night. We also talked to a local rancher, a 7th generation Texan. They're having to fix fences daily where they're coming across the northern side of the border, cutting the fences. There's Plan B pregnancy tests littered all over the grounds where they're raping young women, murdering them right there on their property. The fentanyl, the heroin, the cartels coming into our states, and we're a border state in Tennessee. Everything that we're seeing is coming into the United States, and we felt it was really important because me and the mayor's goal is the enhancement of public safety in our communities. So it was just a travesty to sit here, and we talked to Border Patrol agents, Texas Department of Public Safety, and our great troops with the National Guard in Texas, and what they're seeing. And I want to commend Governor Abbott. He's done a tremendous job with Operation Lone Star. They've got Connex boxes all the way down the river from the Texas border, Texas and Mexico border. It's lined with razor wire. But the ability and the way these individuals are trying to get across, we know that it's driven by money, cartels, drugs, and these aren't people seeking asylum. They've found people, they've documented people from over 150 countries coming into the United States, 22,000 Chinese in 2022. December was their major month, 4,300 undocumented immigrants coming into our country, and this is just an invasion of the United States. We felt imperative to be transparent and open to the public to what we're seeing, and it was just heartbreaking. So we just wanted to inform and tell everybody that what we saw, what we heard, it was really, really heartbreaking. So. Mayor Woodby, do you have anything to add to that?
I'll just, everything that Sheriff Cassidy spoke of is absolutely, he's nailed all the information that we've received there. And just to cap in some of the takeaway for myself from this community back to my communities in Northeast Tennessee, it's a major concern for our infrastructure, our law enforcement, our health care. As these individuals are coming into the interior of the country, nobody knows where they're at. They're spread all over the place. They're in Tennessee. They're in our backyards, and it's a real concern for us because they're not here to be helpful. They're here to do ill will towards us. They're here to rape and steal, and it's a catastrophe what's going to happen if we don't get a hold of this situation. And I'm very thankful for Senator Hagerty for allowing us to go with him to witness firsthand what the media is not telling, just like the sheriff just spoke of, the rapes, the violence against women, the violence against children, the fentanyl that's coming through the borders, the heroin that's coming through the borders. All of this is coming through the borders, and it's flooding in, a lot of it through Eagle Pass, which, thankful for Governor Abbott of Texas, who has put a stop to that. It's taken the local state and the local law enforcement to put their foot down to save that state. They went from 4,500 entering in December to less than 500 in the past month entering in because of what he's done in his state. But it's unfortunate that they're moving from that, now that that's stopped in that area, they're moving further up to Arizona and California to try to make entry. So those states are going to have some tough decisions to make, and it's really not about the political lines, Democrat, Republican, however you may be. It's about protecting the citizens in this great country, because we still are the greatest country in the world. And in order for us to be that way, we have to take care of our own people. And so I'm very strong about supporting law enforcement in our community in the great state of Tennessee and helping them defend the people that we love, because I know we don't want to see one of our loved ones hurt or harmed, or a member of our community, from a migrant who's come in here who are already attacking our law enforcement and our loved ones, and there's been no penalties for them. The judicial system just cannot control or handle what's happening. So I was blessed to go, and we had a wonderful team of colleagues, sheriffs and a district attorney that went with us, and so in mayors, we have Glenn Jacobs from Knox County that joined me as another mayor. So we were blessed to be able to put our eyes on this humanitarian crisis, and it really is a humanitarian crisis.
Yeah, and to touch back on what the mayor just stated, years past, the immigrants would come in looking for work or a better quality of life, right? That's not the case now. These are military-aged men, aged 17 to 40. They do not want work. They want to funnel cartel, illegal activity. They don't want to seek asylum. They want to avoid capture and get us all the criminal activity they can funnel into our state. So they've even got safe stations, which was really heartbreaking. Safe stations, flashing blue lights, where these illegals can go charge their cell phones. They've got directions to get into San Antonio, wherever they want to go, snacks and water. So it's not only allowing the individuals to get in here to funnel these criminal activities, but we're making it convenient for them. We're giving them the proper tools necessary to get where they need to go to come into our communities, our local counties, our municipalities, our cities. And it's just a travesty, and we're going to see it. We're seeing it. I mean, the fentanyl, the drug overdoses, we average 2 overdoses a week just in fentanyl, and then the reckless exposure to my officers that have to deal with this on a daily basis. We were seeing it. We got to see it firsthand, and I'm like Mayor Woodby, very blessed to be able to go with Senator Haggerty, mayors, district attorneys, and other sheriffs across the state of Tennessee to see this firsthand. And it is heartbreaking. As you can see, Operation Lone Star, they've got razor wire Connex boxes lined, pushing them north. That way they can be more vetted and we can get some information on these people. But like I say, these are single males. They're not looking for a better opportunity in life. They're not looking for work. They've even asked them, some of the locals asked them, hey, would you want to mow our yard or help us with the cattle ranching? No, well, we don't want that. How do you get to San Antonio? So we know what their determination is. We know what their motivation is, and it's all driven around money. How can I make that money when it's human smuggling, human trafficking, sex trafficking, and drug trafficking, and that's what they're looking for, and that's their main and major goal, focus. Anybody got any questions?
What is something, when I think a lot of people think of the southern border, everyone has, their own thoughts of what they think is the worst based off of what they've heard in the news and other various conversations. What is something that you two would want the public to take away from what you saw, the biggest thing that you think is an issue that's not talked about enough?
Yeah, I think just talking to the locals there was really heart-wrenching. The Border Patrol, Texas Department of Public Safety, the National Guard, which Governor Lee is sending Tennessee National Guard down there to help. We saw Florida Highway Patrol. I think the governor there is sending some help too. But just talking to those locals, they live in a population of 3,000 people, medium average income 35,000, hard-working, construction, ranchers, and their quality of life is just deteriorating. You can imagine 4,300 illegals in the month of December, vandalizing their property, killing people on their property. They can't even let their kids, and I couldn't imagine owning 1,100 acres, but I couldn't allow my kid to go ride an ATV or enjoy that. The guy's wife was scared to death. They have huge dogs to try to deter some entry into their property, but he has actually seen individuals in his house ransacking his refrigerator, his groceries, and just the quality of life that's just deteriorated. It's just really heart-wrenching when you really talk to these locals that lived in a great area. Like I said, the immigrants years ago, they were there for a better quality of life. Hey, can I find some work? I've got 2 kids I need to provide for. These are military-aged men. They've got tattoos all over their face, prison tattoos. They're not looking for work. They're looking to funnel criminal activity in the United States in any which way they can make a dollar.
And just to chime in with that, a lot of the generations of families that are living in this area have had their generational family there for generations. They're now going to pack up and just leave that land and walk off from it. And so therefore it opens that land up to be purchased. And they're seeing some of the purchase coming from residents in Mexico. So that land that's bordering the border right there, these people are leaving this land. And so it's opening it up for other people to purchase and obtain this land, and you really don't know what you're going to get when that starts happening. And so that was a big question for me: is the just the farming and the cattle ranching, all that's disappearing. Things that are valuable to them, their values and their morals and their beliefs have all been shredded because of this. They're packing their bags and they're leaving. They're leaving their family homes behind, and I think that's a huge concern as far as who's going to purchase that land, who's going to live there. You know, what are we going to see move into Texas? And that's what the Texas governor is trying to prevent. He's trying to save his people and his community. If we can't save that community and those people, then how are we going to save the interior of the United States?
Exactly.
Who funded this trip?
Mine was paid for by drug dealers. No tax-paying dollars paid for my trip. It was all paid for by drug dealers through our drug fund.
You know, you talked about you went down to see it firsthand, but you know, in regards to Northeast Tennessee, why go down? What does this mean for the people of Northeast Tennessee? Because maybe we're not seeing this directly, but you know, what does it mean for them?
Well, I'll chime in right there because we are seeing it directly. We have a neighboring county, Hamlin County, it's just down the road. Mayor Britton is the mayor there. He's experienced an increase in his school population of 250 non-English speaking students in the past year. He is short 7 English teachers. He has asked for federal help because of their infrastructure, their jails, their health department. They cannot handle the influx that's coming in because they already have first and second generation non-English speaking residents living there, which they're already established. So these individuals are just moving in with them. When they move in, they're bringing 4 and 5 children with them. So this becomes a burden on every system that we have in place. And we're also in Carter County. We started the 2022 census was 1% non-English speaking in Carter County. We're up to 3% right now. So we are seeing a small increase. My school system is seeing an increase also. And we are seeing arrests for fentanyl overdoses in Carter County as we are in Sullivan County and surrounding counties. So it's here.
Yeah.
It may not be in the big percentages that some of the other counties are seeing. West Tennessee is already requesting help in some of their communities for all the infrastructure problems. So it's definitely here, and people need to be awake and be knowledgeable of what's moving into their community. And these are not friendly people.
No, and it's just a matter of time because, as you know, our jail expansion, where our jail's already, busting at the seams, you can imagine how this is going to burden tax-paying citizens in each county and city just to fund for more jails, more judicial systems. It's going to clog up the courts because, like Mayor said, they're not here to look for work, try to make a better life, be a tax-paying citizen. They're here for criminal activity, the cartels, and it's going to be funneled straight into every state, every locality, every municipality, and every county.
And to go off of that, obviously there is the new kind of Roan Mountain facility that is looking to help with recovery, and you brought up, fentanyl and drugs a few times as a threat. Is that going to, I guess, with this new facility, is there a chance that facility is now going to be overwhelmed because of, as you're saying, they're, supposedly funneling more in?
That facility right now would not receive any of those individuals because those individuals that are there are incarcerated in
make those productive moves so they can go back home to their families, pay their fines and costs, and have money in the bank and a full-time job when they get out. You know, the influx of all that is just going to burden my staff, because I'm still going to have the same staff. So, you know, we're already at wit's end right now with the overcrowded jail and the staffing that we have. So, yeah, it's just going to be a huge burden on the taxpayers, and that's the ones at the end of the day, the people that are hardworking citizens, I want to protect, because those are the ones that's, you know, trying to go home, trying to feed their family, and at some point in time, those are the people that need to be taken care of.
And obviously, a trip like this is something that's very heavy and weighs on you. Is there anything that when, say you guys go to bed at night and close your eyes, is there anything that sticks with you more than another thing that you saw?
Yeah, I think, like I said, just talking to those locals, you know, Border Patrol and DPS and all those guys, their operational plans, seeing what they're going through, you know, those guys, I mean, they are doing such a tremendous job. My hats go off to them. My heart breaks for them every day just seeing what they're having to see on a daily basis. And this is after Operation Lone Star. I couldn't imagine went over there last year. I couldn't imagine to see what we see, but just talking to those local people, Sheriff Kenny Co. right there up on the screen, you can tell he's burdened. He, from what I hear, he's deputizing his citizens because he doesn't have enough staff. His budget's small. He's influxed with pursuits and robberies and shootings. He doesn't have that budget funnel to assist him. So he's doing all he can. You can tell he is really just exhausted just by talking to him.
I think one of the takeaways for myself is being a mother. While we were there, the Texas Highway Patrol showed us a photo of a small 4-year-old. We didn't witness, but was plucked from the river a little bit further down from where we were standing. 4-year-old, they're seeing 3 and 4-year-olds come through there with the groups, not with their families, or just being shoved with a group to be brought over. And the only thing he had with him was a little note that had his mom's name and number on it. And so 4 years old as a mother, I just could not, you know, I had Courtney Lynch was with me, and she's the district attorney. That really tugged at our heartstrings as mothers, because I just could not imagine sending your child to travel that many miles from these countries and not knowing they're going to make it across a river, which most of them are being drowned in, and then having a little note to say, here's my mom's number. And so where does that child end up at in the United States?
And you can tell the great lengths these individuals go through to get across the border, even with those Connex boxes. I'm talking digging underneath. I'm talking putting your body on that razor wire so somebody else can climb over you. That's got to be driven by one thing, and that's money. And from cartels threatening, hey, you're going to do this, or you live in Mexico and you and your family's dead. You know, they've got that choice.
What's a word that you guys would describe the environment, the emotions that were down there?
I'll tell you that I was fully impressed with all the military, law enforcement, National Guard. Boy, they're on a mission, and they are there for that one mission, and they're going to do whatever it takes to keep those illegals, push them up north to where they can be more vetted and properly, you know, maybe some may be seeking asylum, but most of them are just trying to evade capture and remain undetected. So those are the ones, they're called gotaways. So those are the ones that you really have to fear about.
I think when I was speaking with some of the military and the THP, what I felt that they felt was they're proud. They're proud to be actually doing something for the United States. And something else they're very proud of that I had to take away from is how proud they are of their governor. You know, one of the Tennessee Highway Patrol there, he said, we're holding the front line for him. And that was a huge deal for me, because that means these guys are staying down there to protect that state for that governor who they have so much respect for. And that governor is setting the standards for many other states to step up when the federal government has failed us.
And they really have thanked us for just coming down and seeing this, you know, because so many people just, you know, you watch the news and some of it's whitewashed and that don't look too bad, but when you really get boots on the ground down there and see what they're going through, they were really appreciative to see us out there.
They really were.
And what's next? You had that trip down there. We're talking here today. What is next for you guys, and what you guys want to do for our region here after visiting down there?
Well, I'll tell you, anything we can do to support Texas at this time, I mean, we're willing and able. I mean, we really are. And I'm glad to see Governor Lee sending the Tennessee National Guard down there, and like I say, I saw Florida Highway Patrol, and we're willing and able to do whatever we can to support Texas, because at the end of the day, what you see there, we're going to be seeing in our local communities.
And I think too, and I think Sheriff Cassidy's already doing some of that, is making our rounds with the media and our local Rotaries and Kiwanis Club groups and chambers, and talking about what we've seen with our experience, not what's coming from the news, not what's coming from social media, but what we actually seen with our eyes, and the people that we talk to, and how their emotions, how they're so affected by this. And I think that becomes a big responsibility of the group that came back, is to disseminate this information across the state of Tennessee, because everybody come from a different background that win. We have the power to do so much good in the roles that we're in. And I believe the good Lord chose certain ones of us to go and bring that back to help our communities. And I think that's what we intend to do.
How long was the trip? I know you said Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, fly back out from San Antonio to Nashville Wednesday.
Okay.
And then, well, I'm sorry, flew back Tuesday, and then we had a press conference
Yes.
Wednesday with Senator.
Monday, flew back, yeah.
Okay.
We're a little sideways.
Yeah. We hadn't had much sleep.
I mean,
either.
I was like, I don't know what day it is.
Yeah, we hadn't had much sleep, that's for sure.
How large of a group went out there in terms of Tennessee representatives?
Tennessee representatives, he had
2 mayors, 2 DAs, 4
4
sheriffs.
sheriffs, and then the senator.
Yeah, and the
Okay.
senator, yeah. And he had,
He had
some of his
several
reps,
staffers with him.
Yeah.
Were you guys chosen, or how was it decided that it would be you two?
It was-
I received an email asking me to go, so I said, let me find my boots.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
chosen, and we
Yeah.
were actually supposed to go a couple months ago, but I think there was just some civil unrest there, so they sort of.
Yeah, this was
postponed.
planned, this was planned a few months ago, but I think it got a little scary there, and things got a little high in it, so it kinda got put on the back burner, and then we just received to start planning it again about a month ago. So, yeah, I think everybody in the group was chosen. We all received the same email asking if we can go, and so, yeah, so we were honored to take that opportunity.
Is there anything else were you gonna ask something?
Just that I'm sure Mayor would agree with me. We love our communities. We are here for public safety and enhanced public safety, and that's our #1 top priority. And whatever we can do to help in this matter, we're going to do everything possible.
And just like the sheriff said, I feel like we will be more in tune with our school superintendents, our health departments, our local government, watching the numbers, watching the increases. I've got my school superintendent now looking at the numbers. We're gonna start making a data sheet, paying attention to see if we're seeing any inclines, because we've probably got an opportunity in Northeast Tennessee to maybe get ahead of it and start catching it, whereas West Tennessee and Middle Tennessee are starting to see some of the inside of it already. So we may be at an advantage in Northeast Tennessee, but they are trickling in. Hamlin County is fully flooded right now, and seeing the issues there. But I think it's incumbent upon us, with our sheriffs, our school superintendents, our health department directors, and other leaders in the community, to let them know that we need to be working as a team to watch the numbers and see what's happening, so we know how to address it when it's here.
Just for a clarification question, you said that you think Northeast Tennessee is at an advantage to maybe get ahead of it. Why do you think that?
I think because we're seeing it trickle through the way that where Texas is located. They're coming in through the west, coming from the west into the middle, and so at this point we've not seen a huge incline of population. And when I say Northeast, I probably want to say East Tennessee, because Northeast is probably grabbing Hamlin County and the other counties, Greene County in there a little bit more. So they're seeing, because they've already got these established populations, and so it's easier for the migrants to just move in with them. Whereas some of us don't have as large as an established population.